You're thinking about your business all wrong. Chances are you know that, you got to generate leads and that you have to run a business in some way, shape, or form, but maybe you don't actually understand how to get to the ultimate goal of being repeat and referral based business. Now, I'm going to introduce you to somebody. She's a thought, okay? But you know somebody like this. I'm going to call her Brunch Betty. Brunch Betty is the real estate agent that all she seems to do is go to brunch with her girlfriends, hang out, love on people, and she still makes $240,000 a year selling real estate seemingly effortlessly. All right, I'm going to break down exactly how to build a Brunch Betty business, or Brunch Brian, whoever you want to choose, business that's repeat and referral based, all right here on this video, and you can do it in less than 5 years. I'm Isaac Guzman with LPT Realty and Real Estate CEOs and the Real Estate Collective community. And here's the thing, I'm here to support you in growing. At the end of this video, I'm going to break down for you exactly how you can partner with people like me in our group so that you can build a business just like this. Okay, so we are teaching what I'm about to teach to every single agent. We have just shy of 400 agents in our team. Okay, and there's a couple thousand inside of our entire community. And we're showing everybody exactly how to do this. Because here's the thing, we're tired of seeing people get addicted to and staying dependent on real estate leads provided by providers or from their team leaders. Now, if you're a team leader right now, earmuffs, because I'm about to call you out on some stuff, okay? It's just the reality of what we got to do here on YouTube to help other people grow. And it may be, just maybe, as a real estate team leader, this might inspire you to start helping your agents do the very same thing that we do on our team. Now, let me go back real quick. I've run some really big teams in the past, and I've seen a lot of really great things be done on the marketing side and lead generation side. We're talking about generating thousands of leads every single month. We're doing billboards and radio and television, and we have an inside sales team making outbound calls, receiving inbound calls, booking appointments on agents' calendars, and all this was great. Until I started realizing that what we were doing was fostering dependence on us so that the agents would never leave us. Now, maybe we had some kind of like abandonment issues, I don't know, or maybe that's just the way we were taught. That's the way it's definitely reads in some of the books that you read that influence people to start joining or building teams, should I say, in the first place. But the reality is this, if there is a model out there like this, and there is, most of them are, which is, hey, join my team and I'll give you leads. Great, no big deal. And the more you sell, the better leads I'll give you. We used to do this too. Okay, I'm a culprit. All right, I'm somebody who perpetrated this. The more business you do, the more homes you sell, the better leads I'll give you, the more leads I'll give you, and shoot, I might even give you appointments booked directly onto your calendar. Sounds great, right? And so you realize you can never get out, right? Imagine you're selling 40, 50, 60 houses a year, and most of them are hand fed to you. Well, that's great because, you get to live life on your terms and all that stuff. But what you really have is a great job. And if that's what you want, you should absolutely be part of one of those teams. Hopefully they'll create opportunity for you. But here's the problem. What if the team leader gets tired? What if the team leader gets bored? What if the team leader wants to retire? What if the team leader stops liking you? Or, this happens a lot too, what if they overpromise to the next person they're trying to recruit? And so some of the opportunity that used to come your way starts getting redirected. Right? Especially if you go and do something like argue for a higher split. Now you've just put yourself in a really bad box because they make less money with you than they would with the next person who's just as likely to close that deal as you, or at least that's what they assume, right? So you're actually putting yourself to a disadvantage. And what happens more is you become more and more dependent on the team. Okay. Now, if you want to take a step back, you're going to have to do some real serious thinking. Here's what I'm teaching agents now. Here's our commitment. We want to get agents off of being dependent on leads. Do we provide leads on our team? Oh yeah, right? My team here in San Diego, we got the open door leads, we got Zillow Flex, we've got quite a few things going for us, right? And across the country, we have different accounts just like that because my team, Space Real Estate, we have the opportunity to build those relationships and generate tons of leads like that. But here's the thing, we don't stop there. We don't say, hey, the ultimate version of this is you get leads and you keep getting leads forever. No. because what I'm about to break down for you here, this is the way that we actually look at the business if we want to build a Brunch Betty Brian business in about 5 years. So first, let me help you understand the three components of the business. First, in terms of your people inside your business. First is your database. Your database is a bunch of people. It's everybody you know. It's everybody whose contact information you have. It's the person who you love the most. It's your mom. It's your favorite client that always refers you business and does every transaction with you. It's the person you just closed a deal with. It's also the lead you bought 4.5 years ago, right? That never even answered the call. That's your database. It's everybody for whom you have contact information. Okay. The next piece of your business is your network. Now, here's the thing. I did not say your sphere. This drives me nuts that we always talk about. You got to nurture your sphere. You got to nurture your sphere. Do sphere-based business. The truth is, there are people in your sphere that are not part of your network, and I'm going to teach you that you need to be working your network, not your sphere, and I'll define your network in just a second. But let me share something. There are people inside your sphere that are energy draining. And what we talk about when we're talking about working our network, we're talking about working with a group of people that give us energy, that get us excited to work with, that as a matter of fact, we wouldn't mind spending life. We want to do life with the people inside of our network. And again, I'll show you how to define your network and how to build it. But what I'm saying is your network is different than your sphere. I have people in my family that are part of my sphere. They're not part of my network. And it's not because I don't like them or because I don't love them, but because I would not want to spend energy investing into that relationship so that I can get repeat and referral-based business from them. So remember, your sphere is different. There are even past clients, and I'm sure if you've sold enough real estate, there are past clients that you've had that would be completely fine with never seeing ever again. So when we go to all these seminars and get all these coaches telling us, oh, you need to go and follow up with every past client. You need to go and follow up with your sphere. You're not working your sphere the right way. You need to send them handwritten cards. What happens is we start resisting. And the reason we start resisting isn't because we're bad or stupid or lazy. Now, that could be the case for some of us, but that's not really why in a lot of cases. The reason why is because we're like, there's people in there that I don't like. There's people in there that drain my energy. If I called everybody in my sphere, I'd have to talk to the 12 people that when I talk to them, my God, I can't wait to get off the phone. As a matter of fact, when they call, I roll my eyes and look for the excuse in the back of my mind as to why I didn't answer and why I'm not going to call them back. We need to build a network, not a sphere. Your sphere is inside your database. All right. Now, your database should get like all your drip email stuff, nothing more than that. Okay, I'm giving you permission right now to cut out a bunch of people that most people tell you to go after. I'm telling you, don't go after them. That's your database. Next is your network. Your network is built of people that you want to do life with. People that you won't necessarily do this with all 250 or whatever it is. That's the number I recommend for all of our agents. You won't necessarily do what I'm about to describe with all 250, but you wouldn't mind doing it with all 250 is the point. And it's things like go pop by their house, go to their child's sporting event, right? Or the dance recital or whatever, and sit there and just be a cheerleader for them, right? Cheer them on during the things that they like to do and go watch them perform their hobbies. That 250 people is different than your sphere. Would you agree? Think about who's in your sphere that you wouldn't do any of that stuff for. Maybe it's your sister-in-law, your brother-in-law. Maybe it's somebody, because those people are very much your sphere. There's certain neighbors that are your sphere. Their kids go to the same school as yours, and some of them you can't stand. So they're your sphere. They belong in your database, sure, but they're not your network. All right? Network are people that you want to do life with. People that when you're around them, they give you energy back. Because life is not about time management. It's about choice management and energy management. And people in your network should give you energy back, right? Because you love doing what you do. You love doing it with them. Okay, so really important stuff when it comes to your network. Now, how do you define your network? Super simple. Geographic, demographic, and psychographic. That's how you do it. Geographic, where do they live? Demographic, who are they? And psychographic, what are they into? Well, here's the thing. Where do you live? Who are you? And what are you into? Maybe you live in, I don't know, East San Antonio. I don't know anything about East San Antonio. I'll take a place that I know, San Diego. Maybe you live in North County, San Diego, and you're a father and a husband and a Christian. All right, I'm just pulling something out of thin air. And maybe you're really into cycling and outdoor sports, whether it's cycling, mountain biking, playing tennis, you're in a softball league. You'd have a lot more energy than you know if all you did was focus on people that live in North County, San Diego, who also have families, who place a premium on staying physically fit and active and competitive. Those people, you would probably go to their baseball game, their pickup softball game. You'd probably sponsor it, right? You'd go on a cycling trip or on the camping trip to Camp Pendleton, right? Or whatever it is. You would spend time with those people there. You would not mind giving energy to those people. As a matter of fact, you might even be more energized after spending time with those people. Those are the people that you want to do life with, that you should be consistently and specifically and intentionally engaging with on a regular basis, looking for repeat and referral opportunities. And if you got to a place where you were able to build up 250 people that are meet that criteria, that meet that alignment, you were able, and you had a playbook, which, by the way, this is what we give our agents on our team. And if you want to learn more on how you get your hands on a playbook like this and get hands-on coaching, that would be a direct conversation with me, and it would be something joining our team. By the way, we're already open in 11 states. We're going to open up in Canada, and by the end of 2026, we will be in all 50 states. So if you're watching this video, by the end of 2026, you actually can join our team. Just an FYI. But in our playbook, what we do is we go, okay, well, how do you build that 250? Well, I'm telling you right now that you got to get to 250. You have to narrow it down by geographic, demographic, and psychographic alignment. Okay. And from there, what you got to do is specific activities on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual basis, right? There are some things that you only do once a year, a major client appreciation event. There's some things you only do quarterly, like, I don't know, call every single person and ask them explicitly for business. There's some things you only do monthly. You send out the monthly newsletter, right? There are some things you do only weekly, and there are some things that you do every single day. And there's also some things you only do on Mondays and some things you only do on Thursdays, right? We break all that down in what we call our agent playbook, right? Because our team only runs one playbook and it's doing all these things. Now, I told you there's three parts of the business. There is the database, there is the network, and there's your pipeline. All right. Now, how does all this fit in, Isaac? Because I'm new to this area. I only know 72 people. I've only lived here 3 years, and I definitely have not been treating them the right way. So I cannot rely on my network to give me the 30 transactions, the 42 transactions, the 84 transactions that I really need to hit my income goals, to hit my career goals. I can't rely on them yet, either because the 250 isn't there, I haven't built the 250, or maybe you have the 250, right? But you haven't been doing the right things to consistently, predictably, and reliably generate pipeline business from that network. Well, you got to have a pipeline either way, because, you got to cash checks, right? You got to pay bills. You got to make money in this business. And so the third piece is your pipeline. Your pipeline is defined as people that are going to buy, sell, or invest with you as their agent in the next 12 months. Those people right there, that's your real business in terms of how you're making money. Here's the reality. You're going to have to do things with people that you're not super excited about, that aren't your network. Things like take Zillow leads, right? If you're on a team. Like for us, we're like, all right, take Zillow leads, run open houses, and market other people's listings in the neighborhood where you want to sell more houses, preferably your neighborhood. Okay, those are three things that you can absolutely do for free. Work your network, you can market other people's listings, you can run open houses, and then the other thing's not necessarily free, or taking leads from a team or buying leads somewhere else. And so the reality is this, though. Let's just use this for example, because hey, Isaac, but I want to be a repeat and referral based business, and I also want to grow my network. So what you're going to do is you're going to work those leads. You're going to run open houses. Let's just say you're going to do open houses and do Zillow Flex leads, right? Because that's what they do on my team. You're also going to build your network every day. So every day you got to build your pipeline and you got to build your network. Okay. So every day when you're working on building your network, you're out door knocking, you're going to local businesses, you're sponsoring local baseball teams, you're going to the men's group at your church, whatever it is where you're building the relationships that align with you geographically, demographically, and psychographically. All right. So you got to build the network. To build your pipeline, though, you're going to tap into that network. You're going to reach out to people. You're going to call them. You're going to ask them for business. You're going to ask them, who do you know? Who have you spoken to recently, right? You're going to ask all those things That's building from your network. You're going to run open houses, okay, and you're going to take leads. Now, when you're running open houses and taking leads, you're going to close deals. Let's say you're going to close 18 transactions from Zillow Flex in the next 12 months, right, which is totally possible on our team. Well, what we do is we say, okay, let's say you closed 18 of those. 7 of those people you're not necessarily going to like. Maybe they treated you poorly. Maybe they just are not friendly. Maybe they're just so out of alignment with you geographically, demographically, or psychographically, right? You're just like, listen, they were great. I'm glad I got the opportunity. I'm glad I got the repetition. I'm glad I got paid. But I'm putting that person in the database, right? I'm going to have a couple emails go out to them once a month. And if they come and give me business in the future, awesome. I'm not going to turn it down. Maybe I will. It depends. But I'm not going to worry about them. I'm not going to stress about them. And then there's maybe a few people where you're like, you know what? I really, really enjoy these people. I want to do life with these people. They match up with me. They geographically, demographically, psychographically makes all the sense in the world for me to put them into my network. So that's a way to close deals, get paid, keep the engine running. And now at that point, you're building your network as well. So every day I'm growing my network. Every day I'm tapping my network to help me grow my pipeline. But I'm also looking for outside sources to grow my pipeline. Eventually, the target is this. It's to get enough people in my network, either by just growing my network naturally by doing some of the things that I mentioned earlier, or by feeding it after closing deals, right, from my pipeline, to get my network to where it is being treated the right way. I'm doing all the things that I should be doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual basis to nurture that 250 people so that they start giving me deals, right? Because think about it. If most people buy or sell real estate in an average of 5 to 7 years, that's somewhere between 35 and 50 buy sells, right? Because most people don't sell a house and then just like go live in a car, right? So if they sell a house, they usually buy one. That's 35 to 50 up to about 80 transactions out of those 250 people right there. And if you want to be able to do 50 transactions with repeat and referral based business, because that's what Brunch Betty, that's what Brunch Brian are doing. So they're making solid money just by doing that. But the problem is it took them like 18 years to do it, right? It can take you as little as 5 years if you really understand what I just explained, which is go out and find opportunity right here to pay your bills and keep the engine running while nurturing your network, while growing your network and doing it the right way, and understanding that your network is not your sphere. Your network is not necessarily all of your past clients. All right. You probably get anxiety when it's like, oh my God, all your past clients, right? There's systems that show you how much people have listed in your database, right? There's a really great tool that I actually really like. I think it's really slick that shows you like, oh man, if you load in your database, did you know that, it's $400 million worth of volume is inside your database and you're missing out on it, you big dummy? Well, I'm here to tell you, maybe you're not a big dummy. Okay, maybe some of those people are people that you should not be working with because it's not worth your time. Because every time you're chasing that person that's giving you all the resistance, that treated you poorly or will treat you poorly or does not take your advice or does not value your opinion and the way that you do business and doesn't treat you like a professional that deserves to be paid well, you are losing. You are losing. Even though you cashed the check, they're dragging you through the mud, and it's taking time and energy away from the people that deserve your time and energy. All right, so I'm giving you permission. If you want to learn about our playbook and you want to actually have active coaches walk you through and help you stay accountable to the playbook that gets you to a repeat and referral based business, you need to click the link below. Book one-on-one time with me. Don't be scared. All right, I'm not going to bite you. You're not going to magically wake up on my team. It's only if it makes sense for you. Anyways, I look forward to hearing from you. Hope this helped. See you on the next one.